I am continuing the life of Christ, and we are now seeing Jesus near the region of Caesarea Philippi, and he's asking his disciples as to who he is. But he then makes the statement that upon this rock I will build my church, referring, I believe, to himself. So I'm reading Mark 8:27 to 37, followed by the reading in Matthew and then in Luke. Mark reads, "And Jesus went forth and his disciples unto the villages of Caesarea Philippi. And in the way he asked his disciples, saying unto them, Who do men say that I am? And they told him, saying, John the Baptist, and others Elijah, but others one of the prophets. And he asked them, But who do you say that I am? Peter answered and said unto him, You are the Christ. And he charged them that they should tell. Excuse me. He charged them that they should tell no man of him. Notice Jesus here is claiming, accepting Peter's claim that you are the Messiah, that you are the Christ. But he said, don't go and say a lot yet because he hadn't died yet. And I think the cross has to precede his glorious reign as the Messiah. So he told Peter that, I think, not to go and spread that about, as well as the disciples, for that reason. Then in Matthew 16:13 to 20, it reads, Now when Jesus came into the parts of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Who do men say that the Son of Man is? And they said, Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah. So Matthew adds Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He says unto them, But who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus then answered and said unto him, Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this unto you, but my Father which is in heaven. And I also say unto you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. I'm understanding Jesus might have said something like, You are a little stone, you are a Petros, and upon this Petra, this massive rock, I will build my church, which is speaking of himself as that massive rock. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I will give unto you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Then charged he the disciples that they should tell no man that he was the Christ. I think Jesus here is predicting the work that they would be doing. You'll be binding and loosing. And I think the thought here would be, if you believe the message about Jesus, you can have your sins forgiven. That's loosing. But binding would be, if you don't believe, you still are in your sins and facing God's judgment. I'm wondering if that's what he means by binding and loosing, speaking of their teaching and preaching mission. Then in Luke 9, verses 18 to 21, Luke tells it this way. And it came to pass, as he was praying alone, the disciples were with him, and he asked them, saying, Who do the multitude say that I am? And they answering said, John the Baptist. But others say, Elijah, and others that one of the old prophets is risen again. That's a new statement. One of the old prophets has come back from having died. And he said unto them, But who do you say that I am? Who do you say about, what do you say about me? And Peter answering said, The Christ of God, the Messiah, the anointed of God. But he charged them and commanded them to tell this to no man. I think again, notice Peter's clear confession. You are the Christ. You are the Son of God as the Messiah. And I think he charges them again not to spread this because he did not want multitudes coming and establishing him as the reigning Messiah before the cross. I think that's in the background of why Jesus keeps saying that, don't tell anyone. So again, here in these three gospel accounts, in Mark 8:27-30, Matthew 16:13-20, and Luke 9:18-21, we see a clear statement by Peter concerning the fact that Jesus is the Messiah. And Jesus accepts it, does not deny that, affirms that, but simply says, don't make this known yet, because I don't want to be crowned as the Messiah before the cross. I think that's in the background, in my own understanding of what is happening here.